Perhaps we met in second class, dear lady.
It is indeed possible, after all, but I do not recall it.
My seat was in coach number 8, compartment 6.
How curious that is. I had seat coach number 8, compartment 6, dear sir.
Good Lord! What a coincidence! Perhaps we met in compartment 6, dear lady.
You know, it is indeed possible, after all, but I don't recall it.
I do not remember it either, dear lady, but it is possible that we saw each other there. And as I think of it, it seems to me even to be very likely.
Oh, truly, of course, truly, come.
How curious it is. I had seat number 3 next to the window.
How curious that is. I had seat number 6 next to the window across from you, dear sir.
Good God, how curious that is! We were then seated facing each other, dear lady. It's there that we must have seen each other.
Truly. Sure.
It is possible, but I do not remember it. It is possible that we saw each other on that occasion.
It is indeed possible, after all, but I do not recall it.
Were you not the lady who asked me to place her luggage on the luggage rack, and who thanked me and gave me permission to smoke?
Of course, that must have been I, but I don't recall it.
I do not remember it either, but it is possible that we caught a glimpse of each other there.
It is indeed, it is indeed possible. I don't recall it, though.
Nor do I, madam. But since coming to London, I've resided in Bromfield Street.
How curious that is. I reside in Brumfield Street.
Well then. Perhaps we have seen each other on Bromfield Street.
Yeah, it is indeed possible, but I don't recall it.
Neither do I, madam. I reside at number 19.
Curious that is. I reside at number 19. Oh.
Well then. Perhaps we have seen each other in that house, dear lady.
It is indeed possible, after all, but I don't recall it.
My flat is on the 5th floor, number 8, dear lady.
My flat is on the fifth floor at number 8.
How curious it is. How curious it is. How curious it is. Bizarre. You know, in my bedroom there's a bed. And it is covered with a green eiderdown. This room with the bed and the green eiderdown is located at the end of a corridor between the WC and the bookcase, dear lady.
That is curious. I have a bed with a green eiderdown at the end of the corridor between the WC and the bookcase here, sir.
Oh, bizarre. Curious. Strange. Madam, we then live in the same room, and we sleep in the same bed. Perhaps it is there that we met.
It is indeed possible, and perhaps even last night, but I do not recall it, dear sir.
Madam, I have a little daughter. She lives with me. She's 2 years old. She's blonde. She has one right eye and one red eye. Her name is Alice, dear lady. She's very pretty.
How curious it is. I have a little girl, she's blonde, and she has one right eye and one left eye, and her name is Alice. She's very pretty.
Dear lady. Perhaps they are the same.
It is indeed possible. How curious.
Madam, I believe there can be no doubt about it. We've seen each other before. And you are my own wife, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth and Donald are not too happy to be able to hear me, so I've let you in on a little secret. Donald is not Donald, and Elizabeth is not Elizabeth. And here's the proof. The child that Donald spoke of is not Elizabeth's daughter, and the child that Elizabeth spoke of is not Donald's daughter. Donald's daughter has one red eye and one white eye, like Elizabeth's daughter. Whereas Donald's child has one red left eye and one white right eye. Elizabeth's child has one red white eye and one left right eye. Thus, all of Donald's system of deduction collapses when it comes to this. Though through extreme coincidences it may seem so, Donald and Elizabeth, not having the same child, are not Donald and Elizabeth. It is in vain that Donald thinks he is Donald, and it is in vain that she thinks she is Elizabeth. They are sadly deceived. But who is the real Donald? Who is the real Elizabeth? Who cares in prolonging this confusion? I don't know. Let's try not to. Let's leave things as they are. By the way, my real name is Sherlock Holmes. Oh, yeah.
Darling, let's forget all that has not passed between us, and now that we've found each other, let's try not to lose each other anymore, and as before.
Yes.
Well, good evening, dear friends. Please forgive us for having made you wait so long. We thought that we should extend to you the courtesy to which you are entitled, and as soon as we learned that you had given us prior notice, we hurried to dress for the occasion.
We've had nothing to eat all day. We've been waiting 4 whole hours for you. Why have you come so late?
Oh, but definitely.
We all have colds.
Nevertheless, it's, well, chilly.
There's no draft.
Oh no, fortunately.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
But don't you feel well?
No. He's wet his pants.
Sir, at your age, you should.
The heart is ageless.
That's true.
So they say.
They also say the opposite.
Truth lies somewhere between.
That's true.
Since you travel so much, you must have very many interesting stories.
My dear, tell us what you've seen today.
No, it's scarcely worth the trouble, for no one would believe me.
I'm not going to question your sincerity.
You will offend us if you think that.
You will offend them, my dear, if you think that.
This is going to be amusing.
At last.
Well, today, but I went shopping to buy some vegetables, which are getting dearer and dearer.
Where is it all going to end?
Don't interrupt, my dear.
Well, in the street.